Have you ever jolted awake from a dream where you were falling, heart pounding, stomach twisting, only to lie there wondering what it meant? Falling dreams are some of the most common and unsettling experiences people have while they sleep. You might think it's just your brain's way of reacting to stress or maybe a random trick of the subconscious. But what if there's more beneath the surface? What if the sensation of falling isn't just fear or chaos, but a powerful message? Your subconscious is trying to hide from you, something you're avoiding in your waking life. Most people experience this dream at least once, and it often feels terrifying because it taps into a primal fear, the loss of control. Falling is something no one wants to do. It's disorienting, it's sudden, and it feels like everything is unraveling beneath your feet. But here's the twist. While falling dreams seem to be about losing control, the truth your mind is trying to show you goes much deeper than that. Beneath the adrenaline and panic, your subconscious is revealing one key thing about your current state of mind, emotions, or life situation that you may not be ready to face consciously. In this video, we're going to unpack that hidden message. We'll explore why falling dreams happen, what they symbolize beyond just fear, and how they might be pointing you towards something crucial, something that could change how you see yourself and your struggles. If you've ever felt stuck in a cycle of anxiety, resistance, or uncertainty, this message is for you. So stay with me, because what your subconscious is trying to tell you about falling might be the most important truth you've been avoiding. Falling dreams tap into one of the most basic, universal fears we carry, the fear of losing control. Long before we had smartphones, careers, or daily schedules, our ancestors lived in a world where falling meant danger. It meant you were out of balance, vulnerable, and at the mercy of forces bigger than yourself. When you dream of falling, your brain is often waking up that ancient alarm system, warning you about instability in your waking life. It's not just a random feeling of free fall, it's your subconscious saying, something's off. You're losing your footing. This loss of control can show up in countless ways. Maybe you're facing uncertainty at work, feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities, or grappling with decisions that leave you paralyzed. It could be a relationship that's slipping away, or financial stress that's pushing you to the edge. When your mind senses that the foundation you've built your life on is shaky, it dramatizes that feeling by plunging you into a falling dream. The panic, the helplessness, the rush of the fall. It's all a metaphor for the real emotions you might be pushing down during the day. What makes these dreams so intense is how vividly they capture that moment before impact. The moment when you realize there's nowhere to catch yourself. It's terrifying because it mirrors the moments in life where we have to face uncertainty without a safety net. But here's the crucial part. While the dream is rooted in fear, it's also an opportunity. It's a sign that your mind is ready to bring that hidden anxiety to the surface, to force you to confront what you've been ignoring. Falling isn't just losing control. It's a warning that you need to regain it by looking closely at what's causing the imbalance. If you ignore it, the dream will come back. Louder, more urgent, impossible to ignore. While falling dreams often start as a reaction to fear and instability, there's a deeper, more surprising message hidden beneath the surface, one about surrender. It sounds counterintuitive at first. After all, falling feels like losing control, and surrender means giving up control. But sometimes, the dream is not just a warning about what you're losing. It's an invitation to let go of what you're fighting against inside yourself. Your subconscious may be showing you that the real struggle isn't the external chaos, but your resistance to it. Maybe you're clinging to old beliefs, habits, or expectations that no longer serve you. Maybe you're refusing to accept a painful truth, a change you don't want to face, or emotions you're too afraid to feel. That feeling of falling is your mind's way of saying, you can't hold on forever. It's time to stop struggling and start surrendering. Surrender here isn't about weakness. It's about releasing the need to control every outcome, every moment, every fear. It's about acknowledging that some things are beyond your power, and that fighting against the flow only causes more pain. Falling dreams remind you that surrender can be a powerful form of strength. When you stop resisting, you create space for healing, growth, and new possibilities. This message is especially important because surrender is often misunderstood. We think giving up means failure or defeat, but in reality, surrendering is about accepting what is, so you can move forward with clarity and peace. The dream is urging you to shift your perspective from fear of falling to trust in the process. It's saying that letting go is not the end, but the beginning of something new. If you've been having falling dreams, take a moment to reflect. What parts of your life are you holding on to too tightly? What are you afraid to surrender? Because that hidden message in your dream might be the key to finding balance again. Falling dreams often show up when emotions become overwhelming and you're struggling to keep everything together. Life's pressures build up quietly, sometimes unnoticed, until they explode in the form of anxiety, stress, or emotional exhaustion. When you dream of falling, your subconscious is painting a picture of that inner turmoil, a mind and heart pushed beyond their limits, desperately trying to cope. It's as if your psyche is telling you, you can't carry this weight alone anymore. These dreams are common during periods of intense stress, maybe a job loss, a breakup, grief, or a health scare. They capture that sinking feeling when you realize you're in too deep, and the safe ground you thought you had is slipping away beneath you. The rush of falling symbolizes the emotional flood that's ready to spill over. It's raw and unsettling, because it mirrors the helplessness you may feel in waking life when everything seems out of your control. What's critical to understand is that this dream isn't just about fear. It's a signal that your emotional reserves are running dry. Your mind uses the image of falling to dramatize what's been quietly building up inside. Ignoring these signs only leads to more intense dreams and greater distress. Instead, it's a call to slow down, breathe, and start addressing what's causing the overwhelm. Recognizing this can be a turning point. It means admitting that you're human, that it's okay to feel vulnerable and ask for help. It means learning to prioritize your well-being before burnout takes over. The falling dream, as frightening as it feels, can actually be a compassionate messenger from your subconscious, urging you to take better care of your emotional health before you hit rock bottom. So when you wake up from one of these dreams, don't just brush it aside. Pay attention to what's weighing on you, because your mind is trying to protect you. If you listen, you might just find the support and relief you've been needing all along. Falling dreams don't just symbolize fear or overwhelm. They often mark the painful but necessary process of transformation. When you dream of falling, it can be a sign that your old identity, beliefs, or way of life is breaking down to make room for something new. This kind of falling isn't random chaos. It's a deep psychological shift, like shedding old skin to grow into a stronger, more authentic version of yourself. The discomfort, the loss of control, the rush toward the unknown, all of it points to a critical turning point in your personal journey. Change is rarely comfortable. When you face big transitions, whether a new career, the end of a relationship, or a spiritual awakening, the foundation beneath you can feel unstable. Your subconscious uses the image of falling because it captures that exact sensation. The fear of losing everything familiar while stepping into uncharted territory. But this falling is also a form of release. It's a surrender to the unknown, an acknowledgement that to grow, you must let go of what no longer fits. Psychologists often talk about this stage as a form of ego death, where your old self is dismantled so a more expansive, mature self can emerge. The falling dream reflects the chaos of that process. It's your mind's way of preparing you for the discomfort ahead and reassuring you that falling is part of rising. You don't crash without the potential to land. And sometimes that landing leads to a new beginning. If you find yourself caught in these dreams, consider what parts of your life or identity might be ready to transform. What old stories are you clinging to? What fears are keeping you from embracing change? Because falling dreams aren't just warnings, they're invitations. They ask you to lean into the fall, trust the process, and believe that what's waiting on the other side is worth it. When you keep dreaming of falling, it's a signal your subconscious wants you to listen closely. not just to the fall itself, but to the message behind it. The key to understanding this powerful symbol lies in learning how to pay attention to your dreams as guides, rather than just nightmares. These dreams often repeat or leave a lasting impression because they're trying to push you toward awareness and change. But how do you start decoding what your mind is really telling you? First, start by observing the feelings your dream evokes. Is it pure terror, or is there something else, like relief, acceptance, or even curiosity? Those emotions are clues. Next, consider the context. Where are you falling from? Is it a familiar place or somewhere unknown? Are you falling alone or with others? These details reveal layers of your inner world, whether you're afraid of losing something specific or overwhelmed by general uncertainty. One practical step is journaling. Write down your dreams as soon as you wake up, focusing on the sensations and images, not just the storyline. Over time, patterns will emerge. You might notice that falling dreams coincide with stressful days or moments of big decision-making, or perhaps they appear when you resist a change that's trying to happen. The more you track these connections, the more empowered you become to address the underlying issues consciously. Importantly, approach this process with kindness. Falling dreams are intense because they're exposing vulnerable parts of you. It's easy to feel scared or defeated, but these dreams are also compassionate nudges. They're telling you it's okay to let go of control, to face discomfort, and to trust the unknown. They're encouraging you to find strength in surrender. So the next time you wake up from a falling dream, don't push it away. Instead, ask yourself, what part of me is ready to release? What am I resisting? What could happen if I stopped fighting and simply let go? Your subconscious is waiting to show you the way, if you're willing to listen. Dreams about falling are among the most visceral and unsettling experiences we can have during sleep. But they carry a message far deeper than fear or chaos. They are windows into your subconscious mind, shining a light on the areas of your life where control is slipping, resistance is high, and transformation is waiting to happen. These dreams are not random. They are your mind's way of communicating a powerful truth, one that you may have been avoiding because it's uncomfortable, or because you simply didn't know how to face it. Understanding these dreams means recognizing that falling is not just about losing balance. It's about surrendering to a process that can ultimately lead to growth. It's about acknowledging overwhelm instead of pushing it down, embracing change rather than fearing it, and allowing yourself to let go of what no longer serves you. The intensity of the dream mirrors the intensity of the inner work you're being asked to do. Your subconscious is begging for your attention, urging you to listen carefully to what your waking life might be glossing over. The good news is that falling dreams, as terrifying as they feel, also hold the key to personal transformation. They invite you to shift your perspective, from seeing the fall as a failure to viewing it as a necessary step towards something new and better. They remind you that sometimes you have to lose your footing to find your footing again. The moment of falling can become the moment of breakthrough. So if you've been waking up from these dreams, shaken and uncertain, don't push them away. Instead, lean into their message. Reflect on what parts of your life or self you're holding on to too tightly, and consider what might happen if you allowed yourself to surrender just a little. Because when your subconscious sends a message this powerful, it's not just a warning, it's an invitation, and accepting that invitation could change everything.